And I remember distinctly we had that kind of 4 foot by 4 foot rubber mat, right, at your studio, and it was
rolled up.
It was rolled up, and you know what? Thank goodness we were too lazy to put it on the ground and actually lay it down, because you'd bought it for a repair, right? And so it was rolled up like a piece of carpet,
Yes.
and then we started flipping, as you would a strongman tire.
And we said, whoa, that's an unbelievable experience. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, and
picking it back up.
Right, picking it up off the ground from a dead position. And I remember doing it, you know, as you would, you know, the strongman, you know, tire flips.
Yeah.
That my brother Jay would do often.
Yes.
But we said, okay, if we even roll a piece of carpet, we can do it in the frontal plane.
Yeah. So
So that was our first exposure to triangulating load, consistent with what we might do outside the four walls of the gym. Now we know now that that is actually very good for tissue remodeling, right? Because the architecture of the body will depolarize along different lines of stress. So if I stress you in different ways, that tissue is going to remodel like a spider web. Now, protecting the knee and lower back is a subset that is valuable to consider. But moving mass in different ways, including our mass in different ways, is the fundamental tenet of biology. It's not repetitive stress, right? It's variability. And so as we started flipping this thing in the frontal plane, that led to the conversation that you and I had in Toronto during the CanFit Pro convention, where we're staying at the hotel, eating breakfast, drawing out, a rolled up piece of carpet, rubber carpet, and then thinking about handle positions. Who handles this thing? At which point you said to me, well, Michelle, if we did that, we can actually lift it up and we can start moving it around and we can do like a lunging series and a squatting series. And I remember you saying that. And I remember a rocket going off in my head.
Yeah, and I think the idea was that we were looking at how many different ways can we create something that will allow us the flexibility and the versatility to be able to do all these things that we want to be able to do that would hopefully transfer into real life.
Right. Yeah. Right. And then the investigation began. Because you, myself, my brother Jay, and Paul Graham, we would sit in the back bay of your old facility, and every Saturday morning we would start to go through our Rochambeau, which is what can we do with this thing? What can we do? And I remember in about the span of about 2 months, we had 1,000 exercises or 1,000 different movement patterns that we loaded. Some of which were good, some of which were perhaps contraindicated, but we just wrote them all down. And then from that, we kind of triaged it, and we started to have kind of our base movement patterns, our base loading patterns.
Well, what was magical about that was we started looking at individual experiences. Like we looked at, different sports. We looked at different, everything from gardening to wrestling to mixed martial arts. And we said, what would they do? What would they need to be able to do? And then can we mimic or can we reproduce that movement using ViPR? And that was really the whole Rochambeau kind of concept. Was that idea of trying to match out what we would have to be able to do in real life and real function.
I remember distinctly looking at the tasks that were valuable for those activities. And one of the concepts that I remember talking to you about was the notion that in conventional training, which is very important, we typically want stability so we can achieve a higher output of force. Right? So think about our 1RM, where we're trying to achieve maximal strength. To get a different fiber typing, type 2A and B, cross-sectional area increases through Henneman's size principle, all those things. And then typically the way we do that is we want to fix the body. Right? So your body is fixed and you're moving your appendages on a fixed body, which we might call hands on body. Right? So your hands are moving on a fixed body. And that's typically the way it's been in the gym setting for quite some time. For very good reasons. But then outside the gym, your body's always in motion while your hands are in motion. Think about hockey and any other activity, chores around the house, farming. So then we looked at the notion of having a tool, in this case ViPR, having a mass, and having that either pre-positioned and moving our body, or having our hands moving around and our bodies moving around, which was fundamentally different neurologically and mechanically.
But something that offered us the ability to be able to move, but at the same time be able to add some resistance to that movement, right?
Yeah.
And so hence we were able to connect movement and strength at the same time.
Yeah, which kind of that concept of loaded movement training, right?
Right.
Which we
Yeah.
developed through our experience.